Alright, so this is Westworld, Episode 3, The Stray. Now we're getting to kind of the point where this whole series is kind of getting a little bit going over my head, I guess. It's not really that bad, mind you, unlike some other shows that I would clearly put in this category. No, but it's just kind of... It's getting old, okay? We get it. We get the philosophy. We get everything. We just want something to happen. That's the deal with HBO shows. They take their time, which I condone. Taking your time is a good thing. However, you take a lot of time, it doesn't work. Sooner or later, people will expect something to happen. You gotta have something happen. Yes, be slow. Yes, talk about philosophy and all that. But please, just do something. And psych. Heck yeah. This show has a lot of stuff happening. It might not be big, but it still has stuff happening. And that's the truth. That's no April Fool's. That's no prank. This is actually what I think. Okay? This episode is pretty much the exact same thing as the previous two episodes. You get a little bit of something, but you don't get a whole lot. So all in all, this show shows, well, that's kind of funny, I guess. It's showing, like, the robots getting updated because the robots start to remember things. And in order for this to not happen and to decommission all the robots or whatever, they need to update them to, like, make them better, I guess. So they update them. And it's because of these updates, I guess, that we get more into Dolores' character. We find more about her. I mean, pretty much all the complaints I had about episode 2, like the fact that she's not really the main character anymore, and this could turn into more like a Game of Thrones type main characters and not main character. Yeah, this episode pretty much blows it out of the water with Dolores' character. She is the main character now. That is Fortune now. I think, is that a word? Maybe. I don't know. It's for sure now. She is the main character. There's no doubt about it. A lot of the main story arcs, the main everything that happens in this episode, Dolores has some connection to it. It also shows that she remembers her old father, and it further expands on her character by showing her bravery, and the programming memory starts messing up due to the updates and all that. And in fact, it shows that the updates kind of have the opposite effect, where it kind of makes the robots remember a lot more. That kind of lost me for a little bit. I mean, really, with the updates, it's kind of like updating your phone, I would think. I mean, yeah, once in a while you get an update that kind of destroys the entire fabric of your phone or something, but still, that's really, really rare. And I would think that if you're going to update the systems in these robots that have consciousness and could destroy you, then you should take every matter necessary to making sure the updates will work. Like, you should test this crap out. I mean, test the updates, make sure it, like, works before you put it in each and every robot. I mean, holy crap. And that's pretty much the main complaint I have about this episode. Just the stupidity of the scientists. I mean, these are supposed to be the best on the planet. I mean, they discovered intelligence. Like, they made computers think like humans. I mean, they should be smarter than the robots. I mean, come on. They're the ones that created them. They gotta have a failsafe somewhere. And we also see Bernard talking with Dolores and still adding to the overall story about what happened and where they came from and whatever. Oh, and also we see many of the instances of what happened prior to Westworld. like how Anthony Hopkins created Westworld with the help of his partner Arnold. Which, by the way, the CGI rendering of young Anthony Hopkins and all that, that is truly fantastic. I mean, I saw it in like Ant-Man and saw it in like Captain America Civil War and all that, but I didn't know that HBO had connection with this technology, but I guess it does. So good for them. But yeah, Arnold seems to be another one of that J.J. Abrams in the box things that he loves to do. And I'm just going to repeating this because it shows a lot of stuff. This applies to like everything in the show. Anyway, Arnold is, in a word, intriguing. I mean, it shows his way of thinking. It shows the pyramid of consciousness that he puts into each and every host. Like, I guess if they follow like this type of pyramid scheme that he's got going, then they will eventually have pure consciousness, I guess. Like, they unlocked consciousness. I don't know why he doesn't just do it. Maybe because Anthony Hopkins would just destroy that idea, I guess. But still, it's kind of... I mean, it's hinted at, but we don't really know for sure. Maybe it's pulling us for like a loop or something. I don't know. Oh, and also, we get the return of the flies. I mean, the flies didn't really show up a whole lot in episode 2, but they're back again in episode 3. I can clearly see them. But nothing really truly kind of happens with the flies, I guess. You just see them. They're not really doing anything or showing anything. At least not what I saw. I mean, jot down what you think in the description below or like the comments below. Tell me what's going on with this episode because I don't know what the flies are doing. Also, there seems to be a lot of Adventures in Wonderland type parallels with this episode. Like, you're seeing a lot of Adventures in Wonderland type things, I guess. I mean, you gotta look really, really deep in the details, I guess. You gotta really, really look at them to see its Adventures in Wonderland parallels. That is really, really good because, honestly, it does something that I guess Game of Thrones did or used to do or does or something, and I just haven't picked up on it yet because I'm on like episode 8 still. But it makes the audience like have to pay attention to it, like really, really have to pay attention to the overall show to really see what the heck is going on with this overall show, I guess. And of course, everything I said about the previous 2 episodes happened here. Great acting, great cinematography, great camera work, great colors, great landscapes, great costuming. I mean, all that stuff is transported over to here as well. I don't remember anything that really took me out of it. I mean, now we see what happens in the barn, I guess, with the black cowboy and Dolores. I mean, that thing that happened in episode 1. And with that, Dolores starts to remember stuff. Like, we see her remember, like, a lot of things in that one instance, I guess. Also, there's some little things like Walter, the host that killed and poured milk over the dead bodies, are starting to remember. And he has grudges with other people. Maeve remembers, like, the good cowboy and is cleaning up, I guess. There's some good developments with the good cowboy, who I finally figured out his name. His name is Wyatt. Let the record show that this character's name is Wyatt. And it's the good cowboy that's in, like, those 2 visitors to Westworld and all that. That good character's name is Wyatt. And there's some good development with it. Like, we find out, I guess, that he's getting married. And this is like his bachelor party or something. And I guess this is kind of like Las Vegas for the future or something like that. Or something, I don't know. But it seems like that. And then there's the weapon control. No one but a select few can use weapons, I guess. And I guess it dives into more like social order and all that because of our Second Amendment rights. Everyone can use a weapon, technically, but put more restriction on weapons and you get more reserved, I guess. It also has some people getting more confusion with the decency of the hosts and all that. Like, now look, I'm just going to say it because it's so obvious it's what they're trying to show us, I guess, like what the hosts are supposed to represent. I'm just going to say it. And if you don't want to hear it, click off right now because I'm going to say it. The hosts are pretty much like slaves. They're slaves and they're minorities. They're pretty much anything that is being criticized, like any people or whatever. It's not like a specific person. It's more like a people. I mean, sure, you can take from this series, I guess, or at least these few episodes, that it could be one person. But I took it as like a group of people like being abused. And you can see it because they don't think that these robots are anything. They think they're objects and nothing more. But in fact, they're starting to become more sentient and have more of a conscious and more thinking is going on inside them and all that. So they're actually turning into people with a conscious and kind of a soul. And this is also kind of where I have a problem with it as well, because this thing has been in movies and TV shows and whatever for a long, long time. Many people have done this. I mean, this isn't a new thing. I like where they're going with it, but it's kind of a cliche to have robots in this type of nature, I guess, because I saw it clearly in the Animatrix, and I saw it pretty substantially in the Matrix kind of itself as well, among other forms of media. So I'm still intrigued. I want to know what happens, but I hope that they show us more than just this cliche and they expand on it or do something with it that's different. Hopefully. But if they do the exact same thing that everyone else does, I'm not going to be happy. I'm just not going to be happy about this. Also, there's still stuff I don't understand about this show. And that is this. And here it is. The fact that Bernard has a wife but is sleeping with someone else, it seems like it's kind of not in his character. And also, I was kind of reading my notes here, and turns out that Wyatt wasn't that. It was actually someone else. Wyatt's not part of the two guys on the bachelor party thing. In fact, the two guys are actually pretty non-existent in this episode. There's like less of them. And I was beginning to like their story. I mean, it's kind of like a balancing act, honestly. You either get more of these characters that you like, or you get less of these characters you like. That's why I hate the fact that HBO has so many main characters in its popular shows. Why don't you just have one main character? Is that so hard? I mean, holy crap. But anyway, this episode was really good. I would say it's better than episode 2. It's improving on the world. It's expanding on the world. We're answering a lot more questions. I don't remember a lot of questions being shown up in this episode, which is good. So we're cracking down on all these secrets. Except for one, and the fact that who's Arnold, I guess. That's the main question that appeared. But other than that, really nothing else. I mean, it answered a lot more questions than it did ask or whatever. So anyway, guys, what you guys think of this episode? Comment, let me know. Subscribe, ring that bell to get notified. More Westworld coming your way. I'm sorry that I messed up on the due date for Season 2, Episode 1. But I'm trying my best. I'm watching all these episodes. More content coming your way. Take care.